there's been a lot of talk about death, Charlie Kirk's death. Trump has talked in recent days about how he may not make it to heaven. And he's trying to buy heaven. He's talking about human lives and war, and that I guess he's gonna buy his way in heaven, which is how rich white men think. There was absolutely out of limits like that. If rich white man didn't want to die and he built a house, a suite on top of the hospital, he's basically funding the hospital and all these projects. And we're in that dark outer limits timeline. Every day it's something else that's on TV as a kid. There's only one reason a man of Trump's age would come out and tell the world he may not make it happen. It does touch me that he knows that he thinks that, but then it makes me wonder about what dark stuff we don't know about, we may never know about, that he's done that makes him, see, you get old, you look back on your memories. I take wasabi, I take his brain stuff, and I have a lot of flashbacks to my mom, and I remember conversations and all that. And that's what age is. It's memory. It's remembrance. It's honoring those that went before us, and some who aren't with us anymore, you know. And that to me is what getting old is like. Thankfully, I have memory. I have the ability to remember. A lot of folks don't. For Trump to say that he's worried about he's not getting to heaven, the reason why I'm talking about this, I think with Charlie Kirk talking about how the left we didn't feel bad enough and all that. Well, people don't talk about those Representative Melissa, what's her name, that died in Minnesota, and Trump didn't say anything about that. He didn't even call the governor. They were killed in their house. Her and her husband. There was another representative that was shot. Roger said nothing about that. Now Charlie Kirk is dead. Shot by a white man in a white state, deeply religious white state, by a man that had a gun that was legal in a state where you can legally carry guns, long rifles and guns, pistols, on college campuses. You wanted this. You wanted a world where everybody's got guns. I don't understand. You wanted this, right? This is what you wanted. You wanted everybody. You wanted back the Wild West. You know, Clint Eastwood and shoot them up. You know, you wanted this. Now we got to feel bad for you. I don't understand. It looks to me like Republicans are getting what they wanted. The videos of Charlie Kirk saying that, you know, people dying in mass shootings or something that have to happen, and he feels like that's something for the Second Amendment. In the end, Charlie Kirk became the very thing he talked about, a statistic. He normalized white violence, and he downplayed the victims of said gun violence, many who were killed by white men. Now he is a statistic. All I'm doing is making him what he made those victims, those babies killed in school shootings. That's all I'm doing, is making him, I'm treating him the way he treated many people out here as children when I live today. I don't get it. Trump talked about that representative that was in Michigan or Maryland, talking about he's looking up at us. Yeah. So that's your game, white man. That's your game. Talking about a man that was in public office for many years who just died of old age. Talking about he's looking up at us. And now you want us to feel bad for a guy that said Dr. King was a horrible person. The Civil Rights Act was horrible. We talked about Gabe the Big Stone. We talked about women not needing to go out being barefoot and pregnant. I don't get it. It seems to me like we're living in a white person's country where they can do reckless, wild things, and then when they step in quicksand and they get hurt by the things they do and say, we all have to drop what we're doing and come to the aid of the white man. That's all I'm seeing. I don't see a lot of people that are like, yay, ding dong, which is dead. They're simply saying that this is the way he lived. You want to whitewash. There is a myriad of evidence that runs to the contrary of your argument. Not a good person. He was Charlie Kirk was a person I think was being groomed to be a senator, representative. He was being groomed to be something in politics one day. Big rank roles, I'm sure, by billionaires. See, they use these people, Candace Owens and what's that gay guy, the Greek gay guy, Mylopolis or whatever. You don't hear about him so much anymore because now he done found religion. But he's still with the guy he was with, that's his roommate. And like he said, he threw the guy's ring into the water. Like, you know, your fake ring. You don't hear about that guy so much anymore. See how it was at one time, we're not against homosexuals. Now they're gay again. See, they know see what it is white supremacy and the far right have a world. There's a universe there. And in that universe, they know what they can get away with, and they can't get away with it. When Candace Owens spoke out on Trump, that's because she's allowed to do it. When what's the woman's name? The Fox lady, when she was telling what's the guy's name that running for president, Indian guy, when she told him not voting for you because you're an Indian, you think she would have done it if Biden wasn't racist? She did it knowing she speaks for them people. Duh. She did it knowing she could, and Colton, Vivek Ramaswamy. She knew she could say that with no consequence because that's their world. And that's the world they want us to all live in. Or be able to make racial slurs and then like the minorities got to sit here and laugh along with it while you're being racially slurred. Yeah. That's their game. That's why when Alex Jones got sued and all that, got all that money, no think about Milo. Remember Milo was talking about he was molested when he was 8 years old. He was like, he liked it. You know? Everybody was mad he lost his magazine. Someone gave him a bunch of money. Yeah. This is about the rich white man. This isn't about your morality or your religion. This is about mouthpieces. These are mouthpieces to push out the agenda of white supremacy. That's all Charlie Kirk was. That's all he was. He tried to put 100 on 10, but at the end of the day, he was a mouthpiece. You see how quickly he stepped away from Epstein and stuff. Somebody got the message to him. Let that alone, brother. See what happened now. You can't even say that he was, you can't. I guess he says things about Jews, about Israel, whatever. But at the end of the day, he was a mouthpiece that said some awful things. And now, see, they always say that like karma isn't direct. You know, you don't know how you get it back. The energy you put out there. He put out some awful energy. Him getting killed by a white man that's daddy was a police, 27-year deputy, lived in a nice house, had money, shooting guns as he was young, getting killed. That's not something to put on the left. That's karma. That's what I call God's will. Just because you can't understand it doesn't change the fact that he put that bad, dark, negative energy into our world.